Welcome to the Crypto News. In this video, we have Gareth Soloway and his latest Bitcoin prediction.
I sold my position in Bitcoin or half my position about a month ago. Now, back then it was about $40,000 or so. So I've lost a bit of upside, but I'm still on cash. I'm in the sidelines. When do I get back in?
So there's going to be good support at 40,000 again. If you're a quick trader, you can jump in at 40,000 and play it maybe for like a $3,000 or $4,000 bounce. I would say this: what is your time horizon? What are you looking to do? Are you willing to be in and be out quickly, or are you looking to hold something for months?
Okay.
Sorry to turn the interview around on you. I'm not trying to.
Okay, so personally, I've got 50% of my Bitcoin position I swing trade.
Okay.
So like you, I don't maybe trade as often, but whenever it goes down to a low, basically whenever you give me a floor, like, that's 30,000 or, 32,000, I'll buy that. And I'll just hold it until it goes up maybe 10, 50%, and I'll just sell it off, and then I'll repeat the process. So it's volatile enough for me to just buy relatively low and sell a little bit higher. I don't wait for it to go up 50%. I just wait for it to go up 15% or so.
Yeah.
Now, the other half, I literally don't touch.
You hodl.
Yeah, I hodl. I bought it some time ago, and I just don't touch it.
Okay. So what I would do is if you have that in cash and you're willing to swing trade it, start looking at 40,000 as a floor. If it breaks 40,000, you have some downside, but for the most part, I would expect support at 40,000 and a bounce back to about 44 to 45,000. So I think you can look for that. Now, just be ready. Remember, as a swing trader, you can't kind of just say, well, if it doesn't happen, I'm just going to ignore. You have to be ready to act. So that would be my level.
From 40,000, let's say I buy at 40,000, I'm waiting for 44,000, like you said. Now, what if I tell you, Gareth, 10% is not enough for me? I want a little more. Do I wait after 44? Like, how does this work?
Well, so it's going to 20,000.
I'm being greedy here because I'm trading crypto.
Well, and you can't be greedy in this scenario, and I'll tell you why. Is because ultimately the bear flag is in the chart. All right, you have a major cycle top here. You have all the makings of downside price action. The fact that we even fell off the 200 moving average and stayed within the channel that we talked about before tells you that everything on the bearish case for the midterm is intact. So again, if you're willing to be in and be out for 10%, then be ready to deal with that. If not, I would say sit on the sidelines. You'll get a much, much better entry when you break down and go 20 or sub 20,000.
All right, let's.
And by the way, you might want to. I mean, I know you're hodling some of it, but yeah, it's got 50% downside. So just. Now, by the way,
but the other half is just cash. Right? I'm waiting for it to go down to 20,000. This is my philosophy, and please tell me if you disagree with you think my approach is. I'm obviously not as experienced as you are. But the reason I hodl is because I realize I'm not a very good trader. I can't time tops and bottoms as well as somebody like you. And I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to pay, my expenses on my trades, and I don't want to just mistime the markets. And so if it goes down 50%, you know what? I'll buy more with my cash, and then I'll make it up. Maybe I'll just, break even at the end of the day. If it doesn't, maybe you're wrong, or maybe I'm wrong.
I could be wrong.
And it goes up, at least I've got that position ready to take profits on. So that's the way I see it.
And honestly, that's a great way. And I think it's important for everyone watching to understand that if you're a long-term believer and not a swing trader, there's nothing wrong with dollar cost averaging in, right? I mean, if you pay here at 43,000 where we are now, and it goes down to 40, you could buy a little bit more. If it goes to 35, and just continue to do so over the course of that period, since ultimately I do believe it's going to 100, 500,000, and even more down the road. And again, I think that's years away, but I do think it is heading there. So in that respect, if you're not willing to swing trade, I would just keep that in cash, keep it in kind of reserve, and then hold what you're hodling right now.
I've got more of a philosophical question for you. If you're bullish Bitcoin long term, $500,000 is a lot. That's 10x from here, at least.
Yeah.
Why don't you just hold it and don't touch it? I mean, why go through the? I know you're a good trader and you've made a fortune trading, and your subscribers have as well. But if you're that convicted in the long-term growth of an asset, why go through the hassle of timing tops and bottoms? Wouldn't you just feel more comfortable and secure if you just leave it there and maybe trade something else that maybe doesn't have long-term potential, but something volatile that has short-term potential?
Yeah, so the two things I hate the most is being down on a trade. So if I buy it, let's say 40, and it goes to 20, that's going to bug the hell out of me.
Yeah.
The second thing I hate is time, right? Okay. Time is money. So for me personally, because I'm a trader, because I know how to read the charts, I'm aware that it doesn't make sense for me to kind of just sit in something for, let's say, 2 years before I come back in the money and start seeing that move to 500,000, because I can trade in and out 10 million times, not 10 million times, but I can trade in and out multiple times and make up way more money in the near term. So for me, it's just my style, and I think each individual investor needs to decide what is their style. Do they know enough? Like you said, you're not a trader. You might follow me a little bit, but for the most part, I think hodling a little bit is fine.
Okay. So what's your price target now? I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
40,000 is the downside, 44 is the upside.
That's near term. That's just very near term bounces.
Medium term then.
Medium term is 20 or sub 20,000 still.
Okay, you're still
and I've been
holding
consistent. I think in Dubai is when I first unveiled that price target to you, and I stick with it because the charts haven't changed. Now, I do want to be clear: the charts can change, right? I have to be someone who can admit when things change. So far, they haven't, but I will absolutely come back on with you and be like, all right, they've changed.
How would they have changed? What would you look at that would tell you that they've changed?
So we basically, from the November high, you have this vertical kind of drop all the way down. And then since I think it's been the last 2 to 3 months, since January, we've been chopping sideways to slightly up. And if you connect the highs and the lows, they form this perfectly parallel kind of channel. As long as price is inside of that, it's classified as a bear flag, and the expectation is that it would break lower. All right, so now if we get above that channel and establish ourselves above that channel, that would be where I would start to say, okay, are things changing here? Now, maybe they don't, but I have to at least ask myself that question.
Okay, Gareth, so you're walking around the Bitcoin Miami conference, a lot of bulls here. Have you told anybody about your sub $20,000 price target?
I think many know already. I've seen them walking widely around me. They don't want to talk to me. I think I think I'm like the devil's curse over here. But listen, again, I think that just remember.
I will say, and I'll let you speak. I will say that I've had a number of people come up to me personally and say, I've watched your Gareth Soloway interviews. Is he still bearish? Does he still think 20K is going to happen?
Just follow my Twitter.
I said, look, I don't make the price targets. I just go ask Gareth. He's coming on tomorrow. But yeah.
That's it. And I think it's important to remember, again, folks, is that midterm is like 3 to 6 months out there. If you look at past Bitcoin cycles, it tends to bottom between 12 and 18 months since the previous high. So you're talking November to maybe early 2023.
Right.
But I think it's important to recognize that if you map this out to the .coms and Amazon hit a high of 112 in 2000 and a $6 when the .coms busted. Where is it now? You know, 3,300, 3,400. So $6 to $3,400. That's in 20 years. I mean, think about what Bitcoin would do. Let's say Bitcoin bottoms out at even $10,000. Then multiply that out where Bitcoin could be if it follows the same thing.
I want to go back to your band of 40,000 to 44,000. Now, it seems that every time I talk to you, the trading range gets a little bit more narrow. Why is that?
So that's a great question. And basically what I'm doing is that every time you have these little, so we're in this range, right? It's kind of an upsloping channel here. Yeah. And as you jump up, you're kind of going a little bit here, then you're jumping up. And what it's doing is it's creating little pivot points, little areas where it kind of pulled back to and then jumped. Those create new support areas for us. So the band is the band. That's like the major level. So the 48,000-ish level to about, I think it's around 36 or 37. Those are the major bands. Inside of a band, you get lots of trading opportunities. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done any trades if it wasn't. I've done a bunch of trades since January if there were no trades inside of that. Okay. But my job is to get people opportunities, both long and short, and I've been able to do that with pivot points.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address, because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.